time to reawaken this industrial giant, to get government back within its means, and to lighten our punitive tax burden. And these will be our first priorities, and on these principles there will be no compromise.
I can hear you! I can hear you! The rest of the world hears you! And the people will not be building down! Well, hear all of us!
Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming King. We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, Saints and Patriots? Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, RagingElephantRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty. Thank you, Jesus. It's Friday. It's a thank you, Jesus. It's Friday. And a thank you, Jesus, for Holly Tough Cookie Feely. She had to go solo. She had to go rock. Gloria the Zealot was absentee today, still soliciting prayers for her son, Jerry Keith. So we completely 100% understand that the Zealot, her chair was cold today, but we totally understand it, and hopefully, prayerfully, the Zealot will be back in her spot behind the microphone very, very soon. And Holly keeps stealing all of my mantras, my slogans, and everything. Yes, today's program is stacked like pancakes. Alice Linehan, Dan Goldvach, and Tina Moody Bryan, the hot ticket, the TNT, the TMB. In Texas, and to some extent, when appropriate, nationwide issues. Oh, let me mention this right away. If you want to see my beautiful unshaven face, I didn't shave today. That's the thing about video. You guys drive me crazy with this video, okay? That's the thing about this video thing. I've got to like be dressed. I can no longer do my show naked anymore. I have to shave. If I haven't gotten a haircut, I will throw on my Houston lids like I have on right now. Go Astros, world champions. But if you want to see my beautiful unshaven face, RER video channel on YouTube. And when you do the search, well, you don't have to do the search. Just go to RagingElephantsRadio.com and scroll down in the right column, and you will see the link to my live video stream. Still having issues with Facebook. I really don't care. Had this conversation with Daniel Miller a couple of days ago about the potential of switching over to WeMe. I'm still investigating. I want to see what their capabilities are. Even if everyone hasn't populated over there yet, even if everyone hasn't migrated to MeWe, it may be an advantage to get sort of a ground floor position. That may be the best thing to do. I'm considering, because Facebook is awful. Awful people. I'm still going to do a video on how Facebook is worse than China. All of them. Twitter, Facebook, all the FANG stocks, the FANG companies. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. The FANG stocks is what they call them in the market. Awful. Awful people. And more dangerous than the Chi-Coms. Okay, I'm going to say this while he's alive, because everybody is focusing on John McCain issuing a press release saying that he is no longer going to accept treatment for his aggressive brain cancer. And the family is in mourning, pre-mourning, or for the inevitable. And so all the accolades, the salutations, the salutes, the tributes, Senator John McCain is starting to roll in. And Meghan McCain may be right. She stated that her father is going to be remembered for centuries to come. And she's probably right. This is what I'm going to remember John McCain for, okay? I'm going to remember John McCain for essentially putting a huge dent into my life, wrecking a lot of stuff. John McCain. The first thing I'm going to remember John McCain for, and what humanity is going to remember John McCain for centuries, is losing to Barack Insane Obama. That's the first thing. I'm going to remember that. And he's going to be remembered for centuries for losing to essentially a state senator from Illinois. John McCain ran all kinds of campaigns. He ran a campaign for Congress. He ran several campaigns for Senate. He ran a couple of campaigns, 2 or 3 for president. He received the presidential nomination in 2008, ran a lousy campaign, and as a result, we got Barack Insane Obama. How do you lose to a Rudy Poot rookie like Barack Insane Obama? You run a lousy campaign, you're a lousy candidate with a lousy platform, you cannot get the base out to vote for you. Republicans didn't want to vote for him. I, reluctantly, got me a John McCain campaign hat. A lot more attractive than that ugly Make America Great Again red cap. Those things are ugly. John McCain's cap was pretty cool. I still got it in the closet on the hat rack, hat shelf. I even have a McCain Palin yard sign nailed up in my garage. And that was the best thing about that 2008 campaign, was Sarah Palin. And then from his deathbed, he's throwing missiles at Sarah Palin. The other thing that I'm going to remember John McCain for, that you are going to remember John McCain for, was the thumbs down on Obamacare, on the repeal of Obamacare. And Democrats, the jackasses, standing up in the well of the U.S. Senate and giving him an ovation, a standing ovation for thumbs down. First, John McCain loses to Barack Insane Obama, which gives us Obamacare, which did damage to the quality of my life. To this day, I, as I'm talking to you right now, do not have health insurance because, frankly, I can't afford it. Why? Because of Obamacare. If John McCain had won in 2008, as he should have won in 2008, there would have been no Obamacare. So he loses to Barack Insane Obama. We get Obamacare, and then the guy who loses to Barack Insane Obama casts the deciding vote to keep Obamacare. Obamacare did damage that I'm trying to recover from right now to this company, RagingElephantsRadio.com. Obamacare did damage to this company that we are still trying to recover from. Regardless of the Trump economy, regardless of 4.1% GDP growth, projected GDP annual growth in the nation, Raging Elephants Radio is still suffering from the advent, the implementation of Obamacare. To this day, Obamacare, the thing that we railed against, that launched us to victory in 2010, launched us to victory in 2014, the promise of repealing Obamacare. And then John McCain says the reason he goes thumbs down on it is because he didn't like the process. He didn't like how the repeal bill came to the floor. It wasn't because of regular order. The bill didn't come to the floor after the process of regular order. So based on this, John McCain wishes for all of us to continue suffering. under the guillotine of Obamacare. Oh, and don't you know, the next aircraft carrier that's going to be christened, it'll probably be the USS Senator John McCain. You know it, and I know it. Right next to the USS Harvey Milk. No, man. And then he wouldn't resign his office as he's going through cancer treatment, wouldn't resign, so that someone else could be in the Senate to cast votes. No, he's going to be absent, so the home team, the Republicans, have to play shorthanded. They have to play handicapped. Why? Because McCain won't resign his office when he knows he's not going back into the Senate ever again. He can't cast a vote unless he's on the floor. He's incapacitated. No. They say give him flowers while he's alive. Here's my flowers right here. Here's my flowers. Thank you, John McCain. Thank you so much for giving us Barack Hussein Obama, for giving us Obamacare, for throwing all these missiles at true conservatives. So mavericky, John McCain. I'm supposed to show sympathy when this guy, John McCain, personally responsible for doing a lot of damage to my life personally, to this company personally. I don't know who the next senator of Arizona is going to be, but I doubt it's going to be someone of the caliber of Barry Goldwater. The best, no Goldwater. There was only one AUH2O. I wish another one would come along out of Arizona, but I doubt it.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning.
What's up, Saints and Patriots?
To see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true, but the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union.
It comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Maintaining your home air conditioner is just as important as maintenance on your car. You don't know the big difference there's going to be until you've had the work done. I thought my system was working fine, but now it's better than ever. Galen Beatty did it for me, and he'll do it for you. Good servicing will not only keep your system performing well during the sweltering summers here in Houston, but it will save you money year after year. In my case, it cut my AC power consumption by 20%. Do what I did. Have Galen Beatty set up regular AC maintenance to cut your energy bill and prevent system failure at the worst time. And what's better than being comfortable and saving money? Whether you need a basic tune-up or it's time to put in a new super efficient system, you should call Beatty AC 281-222-9591. That's 281-222-9591 to schedule an AC system tune-up. Beatty AC and Heat. That's BEEDE ACandHeat.com. BeattyACandHeat.com.
Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas works will help Texas voters to make Texas more like Texas. The RER 2+2 Challenge. Listen to RER 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. You'll learn more about Texas politics in 2 weeks than you've ever known. Mark it on your daily calendar. Set your phone alarm. The RER 2+2 Challenge. 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. RagingElePhantsRadio.com. The rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
You're enjoying Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey. Just having fun talking Texas Liberty 411. Claver, your favorite political flavor. Always giving it to you straight, no chaser. Even when it comes to John McCain. Not one of my favorite people. Because of the election of Barack Insane Obama. He lost that election. He lost it. It wasn't as if Barack Insane won the election. McCain lost that election. And some serious damage was done to the Republic because Barack Insane Obama occupied the White House for 8 years. And Mitt Romney wasn't much better. I mean, think about it. Mitt Romney is worth $250 million. They call Donald Trump the blue-collar billionaire. Why? Because Mitt Romney, only $250 million of net worth, could not connect with the common people. Here's another thing that I'm still fired up about. I'm still fired up about the faith, the church, continually being attacked by the anti-Christian left. And in my view, Chuck Todd is an anti-Christian. And last week on Meet the Press, I want to play it again because I'm still burned up about it. Chuck Todd equated evangelical support for Donald Trump with the Catholic Church priest pedophilia scandal. Now, if you're a Trump supporter, and once again, I'm going to say, I'm not a Trumpkin. I know. I get on you guys' nerves because there really isn't any politician that I'm a sycophant for. I get on all of them. And I promised you guys that I'm going to stay on Trump. I'm going to be hammering him from the right, especially on the issue of immigration, more so now than ever before. I am not a Trumpkin. But I got a lot of friends who are Trumpkins. And the friends that I have, to the best of my knowledge, are not pedophiles. An anti-Christian Chuck Todd wants to equate my friends to pedophiles. I'm not thrilled about that. So if you didn't hear the video, if you didn't see the video, if you're watching on the Raging Elephants Radio YouTube channel, I'm about to play the video for you right now. Chuck Todd asking the question, where are people to go? Where are people to go for leadership when it comes to faith? Where are they to go to get religious and spiritual teaching? Because you got the Catholic Church filled with pedophiles, and you have evangelicals that are turning a blind eye to the replete sin of Donald Trump. Let me play it, and then here they go, Saints and Patriots. Here's Chuck Todd.
What does that do to organized religion in this country?
I think it makes people more and more wary of going into churches or going and looking at pastors for some.
Let me back it up because I was watching a little bit earlier. Here you go.
I'm curious of the larger societal impact of an evangelical movement that has turned the other way on this president and what he's done morally, a Catholic Church that you can't trust morally with your kids, even if you believe in them in your own beliefs. And what does that do to organized religion in this country?
I think it makes people more and more wary of going into churches or going and looking at pastors for some sort of moral direction for a long time.
But if not them, who?
I don't think there is. I think what the lesson here is that you really can't trust anyone. I should say this. I'll say it. I grew up with a grandmother who was very devoutly Catholic, who also said priests are men, and who also said be very careful of who you put your child with, regardless of who that is. So if it's coaches, if it's teachers, I think you need to understand, and I think we all understand now, that we need to be very, very more vigilant. And
can you believe it? Can you believe it? Pastors cannot give moral, spiritual guidance. Why? Because supposedly they support Donald Trump. So if you're a pastor and you voted for Donald Trump, you are now disqualified, I guess, from preaching from the pulpit. I guess you are disqualified from being a pastor. You are worse than I don't know, name a villain in the Bible. Jezebel. You're worse than Judas because you voted for Donald Trump. You cannot give moral clarity. You cannot give moral guidance. You can no longer teach the word of God because, oh gee, you support Donald Trump. When I addressed this before, I said this and I'm going to say it now. The likes of anti-Christians such as Chuck Todd and what's her name from PBS, Michelle Sindor, I think that's her name. The chick that was talking right there, Carol Lee, and the rest of them that were on the Meet the Press panel last week. They will not be able to understand us until they become one of us. That's what 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and chapter 2 clearly teaches us. That until someone is of the Spirit, they cannot understand the things of the Spirit. Until they are a Christian, they can't understand the mentality of the Christian. They can't understand our worldview until they become one of us and adopt our worldview, compelled by the Holy Spirit. They can't adopt that worldview. They can't understand it. We understand them intently. We understand them through and through because we used to be one of them until we were born again by the Spirit of the living God. And I've said it, no turning the other cheek for me, not on this issue. I'm tired of the faith being attacked. At every turn, the faith is being attacked. The church proper being attacked. From the halls of government and from the sound stages of big corporate national media. I want to play it again. That's what I want to do.
I'm curious of the larger societal impact this is of an evangelical movement that has turned the other way on this president and what he's done morally, a Catholic Church that you can't trust morally with your kids, even if you believe in them in your own beliefs. And what does that do to organized religion in this country?
I think it makes...
See, he's making a moral equivalency or an immoral equivalency, pedophilia, to Christians or pastors supporting Donald Trump. If you are a Christian and you support Donald Trump, you are as bad as a pedophile, says anti-Christian Chuck Todd of BSNBC. Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck Todd of MSDNC. Oh. We need to fight back. Defend the faith. Come at them with heavenly fire. Okay? I tell you what, you don't have to necessarily. I'll do the work for you. How about that? I'll do the work for you. And those who attack the church, those who attack the believers, the body of Christ, I'm going to attack back. I'm not going to be on the defense. I'm going to be on the offense. I like offense. I like offense a whole lot better. I'm going to take a break right here. Just let me assure you that if you are a supporter of Donald Trump, that does not make you a son or daughter of perdition. Okay? Just let me go ahead and make that clear for you. I can state that unequivocally. I can state that to you chapter and verse out of the Bible if you'd like. Your vote for Donald Trump does not make you a son or daughter of perdition. It does not damn you for all eternity. Promoting drag queen story time might, however.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunk any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Will advertising on Raging Elephants Radio help your business?
Hello, my name is Galen Beatty at Beatty AC and Heating. I advertise on RagingElephantRadio.com, and I'd urge you to do the same. Small and large business owners, if you want a really affordable way to get your name, products, and services to a large audience of consumers, I'd advertise on RER.
Ask about our double value package. You'll love it. Easy, affordable, effective. Email RERads@RagingElephantRadio.com. That's RERads at RagingElephantRadio.com. What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Here's how to use the RER app on your commute and get the latest Liberty 411. First, download the RER app on your smart device, phone or tablet, Apple or Android. Search Raging Elephants Radio in your App Store or Google Play and hit the search button on your keyboard. Connect your device to your car audio system. Do it via Bluetooth or auxiliary jack. You riding old school? Stick in some quality earbuds and enjoy the serious HD stereo. No excuses. It's here. RER app.
Find Raging Elephants Radio on Twitter at RE Radio Texas.
I want to remind you guys, look, if I got to do video, if I actually have to get dressed every day to do a live video stream, the least you could do is put on your shades and go to the RER video YouTube channel and take a peek. See if I'm actually doing my show naked one of these days. The easiest way to find me, however, the live video stream on YouTube, is to go to RagingElephantRadio.com and just scroll down in the right column. You'll see. It'll say live now, right there in the right column. It's awesome. I got to thank Barbara for that. She's a genius. Another genius, and she's sassy. She's a sassy genius. Raging Elephants Radio contributor Alice Linehan. She's our guru when it comes to education. She
seemed to have those ominous introductions, and then
I don't know why. I got to do something. I got to do something about that. I shouldn't. Every time you come on here, Alice, I shouldn't. Your walk-up music shouldn't be the theme from Darth Vader. No, that wouldn't be right. Not for you, Alice. You're too sweet for that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's good to have you back, Alice. Now, up in your neck of the woods, you were texting me last week about something that you're following extremely closely. One of the great things about having Alice Linehan on as an RER contributor, handles big education for us, is she really watches what happens at the local level. Her bandwidth it's unimaginable to me how she can cover everything. If it's coming out of Washington, Devil City, she's on it. If it's coming up from the Pink Dome, she's on it. And even more amazingly, something may catch her eye at a local ISD, large or small. Now, Grand Prairie ISD, Alice, happens to be in your neck of the woods across town from you. But you've been watching what's been happening in Grand Prairie ISD. And what you wanted to report on, you say, is going to stretch across the state and deep into the educational system here in the Lone Star State. Give us your report, Alice Linehan, please.
Yes, the Grand Prairie ISD Superintendent, Dr. Susan Hull, Hull, at a school board meeting last week, they changed her contract because the school district had purchased a home for her, close to $700,000 home that they purchased, the district purchased, and then they did $100,000+ in repairs, all on taxpayers' dollars. But what's interesting about Dr. Susan Hull is at the school board meeting, she requested they change her contract to say that she doesn't have to live in that house or within the district. And the reason why is because there's a lot of controversy surrounding her and contracts that the school district had executed with her husband for services, power washing services. So there's quite a few improprieties going on, and she didn't want to be living in the district with all of this focus on her activities and her family's activities.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So they spend $700,000 on a home for her, and she doesn't want to live in it. What are they going to pay for another house for her, or out of her salary, which I'm sure you're going to reveal she's going to pay for that? I mean, this is excess Gordon Gekko style. Unbelievable. This is water skiing behind yacht kind of abuse of power and corruption.
Well, it is, and we don't know the answers to those questions, actually, and there is local press who is pressing her in the district to find out those answers. What I think we have to also focus on is why this superintendent thinks that she is so untouchable, and why the school board members have been trained to basically submit to her wishes. Who is this woman, and what are her ties?
Well, hold on one second, Alice. Mm-hmm. I'm going to answer the question for you. I don't know why it is, but for some reason, when it comes to the education industrial complex, Big Ed, and now ISD is Big Ed as well. There's that attitude seems to be pervasive. There's been a battle going on in Beaumont over the renaming of the athletic facility because it was previously named for a disgraced superintendent of the Beaumont ISD, Harold Butch Thomas Athletic Facility or Education Training Facility, whatever they called it, natatorium, college-sized football stadium that cost millions. We've gone through that scenario, that type of trend that's still sweeping across Texas. And the school board last week finally voted to pull his name off of it. This is a guy in BISD that was making over $300,000 a year, with 20,000 students or whatever it is. And these types of salaries for superintendents and assistant superintendents that you can't even count on both hands how many assistant superintendents are in the $250,000 per assistant superintendent. Millions of dollars are spent in ISD on payroll for folks that never touch a classroom. The goal for a teacher just getting their certificate is to get into an office, get into an administrator's position, because now you're making money like a hedge fund manager.
That you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And they're not going to do anything once they're accustomed to that lifestyle that would threaten those dollars. Now, here's what's important. The reason why Dr. Holes is untouchable is because of her connections, one, to TASA, the Texas Association of School Administrators, and TASB, the Texas Association of School Boards. She is the darling and the face, if you will, of TASA's new vision for public education. The Grand Prairie ISD is one of the key pilot districts for the bad school choice, for the schools of choice within that local traditional public school model. Remember, I said, whether it's the TASA crowd and this new vision of public education, or whether it's the Abbott and Patrick, all sides are pushing this concept of schools of choice. And they're bringing in these charter schools and these magnet schools. And the difference between a charter school and a traditional public school is that locally elected school board, and it is a public-private partnership. And so it's interesting when you start looking at her ties to people like Mike Morath, who miraculously, everyone loves Mike Morath. Thomas Ratliff loves Mike Morath, and Dan Patrick loves Mike Morath. Why is that? And it's because that he is the key person to implement this new vision of public education that is tied to the college and career readiness standards that are tied to UNESCO and the United Nations. And the key commodity for these public-private partnerships are student data. They are mining the data of our children. And I hate to tell folks, another bearer of bad news, but the Congress is passing this huge budget to fund the Department of Defense, Department of Labor, Department of Education, Department of Health and Human Services. And what we talked about before is that when Congress passed the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act back in 2014, it binds Department of Labor, Department of Defense, Department of Education, Department of Health and Human Services. So when those federal grant dollars come back to the states through these different departments, there are mandates and there are data collection mandates that come. And so the data that is being collected on American citizens, on Texas citizens, is the key, because that's the commodity of these public-private partnerships.
Yeah, but let me jump in. Let's get back to Susan Hull. All right, we've gone through the bad school choice, which you just went through again, and we're going to continue to hammer on it for very good reason. This is something that we're going to stay on like a mad dog on red meat. But getting back to this Grand Prairie ISD superintendent, regardless of that being the reality in Texas, it's when it comes to the curriculum and the monetization of children and the violation of their Fourth Amendment rights, et cetera, their miseducation, it still doesn't give the ISD culture the right to that type of exorbitant fiscal malfeasance to this teacher. I want you to get back to that story.
Oh, well,
I'm sorry,
you're exactly...
The superintendent. I'm not a teacher, a superintendent.
Well, you're exactly right, but the reason why they are allowed to do that is because the training that they've gotten through TASA and TASB, and there are people on both sides of the political aisle, there are people in very high places who cannot afford for her to be disgraced, because if she has the ability to take down this whole monster.
Did she blackmail them? Did she blackmail them, or was this voluntarily given to her, or did she drop a hint and then somebody picked it up? I mean, how did this come about?
I think these are the questions that we need answered. And there are people, that's why I said be watching this, because there are people, there are reporters, there are local people, there are some school board members who are asking these questions. And right now, they're the ones being ostracized locally. If you watch the video from their last school board meeting, it's a joke. It is a complete joke. You can see how she is being completely protected. And the one school board member who's willing to call her out, he's ostracized by the other school board members. So this is the training that is going on through TASB and TASA, training, by the way, that's funded by our tax dollars. So this is why we need to be on this. This is why we need to keep the fire on Grand Prairie ISD to expose what's going on.
Now you said this is going to have implications. The tentacles. This is going to cause tentacles to get even deeper as far as corruption, big education here in Texas. Are you getting wind of other abuse like this taking place around the state? It's got to be commonplace. I mean, you have ISDs that are being taken over by TEA. I just mentioned Beaumont ISD. It was taken over by TEA because so many administrators and school board members were being locked up in jail like Hillary Clinton should be. Are you saying that this type of thing is going to be uncovered across the state, that Grand Prairie is just the tip of the iceberg?
Yes.
In a word.
And I would, yes, and I would be looking at an organization called Commit Dallas. Commit, it's tied to Teach for America. It is Commit. If you go online and Google Commit and look at Todd Williams, who is the leader of Commit. By the way, Commit, their function in working with school districts is collecting data from the state. They are setting themselves up so when these federal grants come in for different programs like the Safe School Plan that Abbott's going to fund through federal grants. It just came out this week too that DeVos is looking at giving federal dollars for local school districts to purchase guns to keep schools safe. Well, what comes with those federal dollars? Mandates to do mental health screenings for all students. This is what people don't understand. These nonprofit organizations are setting themselves up so when the federal dollars come back to the state for these programs, they have access to profit off of those federal dollars.
Is there any evidence? Is there any evidence that these federal dollars that are coming in the states and the ISDs is that what's funding the exorbitant lifestyle, all these bennies and golden parachutes? I mean, I'm still the headline that you came with today was about Susan Hull, Grand Prairie ISD superintendent, with a $700,000 house that she doesn't live in.
Yes, I would look at the connections between these corporations and these nonprofit, the public-private partnerships. That's where, and we talked about it last night. We had a conference call. We went through on the Women on the Wall conference call last night all of the federal bills and the trillions and trillions of dollars that are coming back to the state through grants. And a lot of those dollars, it's the merging of the public-private partnerships that are paying these exorbitant.
Wow.
And by the way, when Greg Abbott came out this week with Patrick and they said, oh, we're having this plan. By the way, they said it was Mike Morath's plan to pay teachers six-figure incomes.
Right.
Well, where did those six-figure income? Where does that money come from? They're federal programs.
1/3 of the what is it? 2/3 of the expenditures or something like that already goes into big education here in the Lone Star State, right? Mm-hmm. That's 2/3 of the budget, right? It's education, or 30% or 40%. It's a huge portion of the budget already. And now Abbott says he wants to give six-figure salaries. That's the reason you have these mausoleums for schools now, these castles without moats, if you will, for schools right now, is because I guess they want their campus to look like Apple's campus. They want their campus to look like General Motors' campus or something like that. They should have the same sort of corporate high-level standard of living glossed on them like some Hollywood celebrity, like some movie distribution company or something. Alice, your final words.
You're exactly right. This is it's all a banking scheme. It's a money scheme. People are profiting off of it, and we have got to hold them accountable. At the very top, we've got to hold them accountable. Be looking and be watching, because we're going to be covering it and exposing, because that's the only way to win this battle, is for people to understand, and we've got to deprive them of their greatest commodity, which is collecting data. It was described last night on our conference call. The government is doing data rape right now on our students. And until we get strong conservative Republicans who are willing to protect our children's privacy in the classroom, like they were willing to put their name on the line to protect them in the bathroom, if they're not willing to protect our privacy, then we're handing over our children to those who will profit.
Thanks a lot, Alice Linehan. She's a Raging Elephants radio contributor. As you just heard, she handles the big education industrial complex for us here in Texas and beyond. We just scratched the surface on this, and I'm pretty sure, Alice, you're going to be following this whole idea of these exorbitant benefits being passed out to superintendents, principals, and the potential of six-figure incomes for kindergarten teachers. We're going to be watching this, right?
You bet. I'm not going away.
Thank you, Jesus. Love you, Alice. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Don't cut the stream, Saints and Patriots. Audio or video. Dan Goldvach is still to come, and the hot ticket, Tina Moody Bryan.
Attention business owners. The marketing plan of RagingElephantsRadio.com is geo-targeted for Texas. From El Paso to Orange, Amarillo to Brownsville, the state of Texas is going to know about us, and they should know about you. Together, we'll have Texas covered like a blanket. When you advertise with us, you immediately get the benefits of statewide exposure. We are the way to advertise your company throughout the state of Texas and grow your customer base economically. No matter the size of your business, we have a package for you, starting at just $100 a month. Get started by clicking the Advertise button on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Stephen Broden is a featured Bible teacher.
What runs interference with God's instructive word are Satan, the world, and the flesh. Out of these three comes doubt, fear, and unbelief. Doubt and fear leads to unbelief. Unbelief, more than any other sin, is targeted towards the very character and integrity of God Himself. It challenges God's promises, His stated purposes, and casts dispersion on His plan for you and all who believe. This is what Satan did in the Garden of God with Adam and Eve. Satan led them to believe God was holding back on them and was untruthful about the consequences if they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Enjoy Pastor Stephen Broden, 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Automobile aficionado, Apostle Claver here. Let me introduce you to my mechanic, an ASC certified mechanic, Andre at America's Repair in Houston. Now, you guys know I'm a former fully sponsored race car driver and I own a high performance auto. You bet I'm particular about who even touches my car. I go to America's Repair to get all my auto work done, and you should too. Andre has served Spring Branch and all of Houston for over 20 years. America's Repair will match or beat any competitor's price. All repairs come with a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty. America's Repair is a complete car care and repair center. State inspection, muffler and exhaust work, wheel alignment, brake work, tune-ups, engine transmission work, auto body and paint. Great deals on oil change and AC checkup. America's Repair accepts all extended warranties. 2005 North Gessner, 1 mile north of Memorial City Mall in the Katy. Wednesday is senior citizen discounts. Thursday, active military discount. Call 713-467-2001. 713-467-2001. AmericasRepair.com. Or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. What do you care about Washington, D.C.? D.C. doesn't care about you. You're a Texan. You're a Texan above all else. And there's only one radio station that's going to feed your need for Texas power and independence. RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Finally, the Patriots of the Lone Star State have a unified voice to fight back and organize. 24/7, 365. RagingElePhantsRadio.com is going to give you what you need to know about Texas politics, liberty, and independence. Take us wherever you go. RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Streaming on your computer, smartphone, tablet, and internet auto.
Information, communication, action. RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
We're your Texas network. We're RagingElePhantsRadio.com, and you are a member of the herd, the rabid supporters of the rebellious voice of Texas Liberty. Raging Elephants Radio. Dan Govach in just a moment. Also, the hot ticket. Raging Elephants Radio contributor for pop culture, Tina, Moody, Brian. And we've got some deep things to talk about today with the TMB, with the TNT. I think I finally found a way to sell this thing. Believe it or not. I think I'm gonna go with now video streaming live on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Because that's exactly what's going on. Thanks to Barbara. She's so brilliant. She's not just beautiful, she's brilliant. We are now video streaming live through RagingElePhantsRadio.com. You just go to the home page, scroll down in the right column, and you'll see my beautiful unshaven face today. I didn't shave, and I'm proud of it. You people are making me do video, okay, that my days of Butch and I doing the show naked are essentially over, thanks to you. I can't stand video, can't stand it. Dan Govach in just a moment, he's standing by. But it is Friday, and we sort of break the rules on Friday. I like breaking the rules on Friday. Try to liven things up a little bit, lighten things up a little bit. And speaking of Barbara, she sent this to me via Facebook. Ooh, Facebook, 2 thumbs down. I'm telling you, I'm checking out this MeWe thing. Tina turned me on to this MeWe thing. I had no idea. And then Eugene told me about MeWe. And then Daniel and I talked about MeWe. So maybe I should be talking more about MeWe. But I'm going to be investigating the potential of MeWe versus Facebook. It's supposed to be the antithesis of Facebook when it comes to political censorship, but we'll find out. I wanted to lighten it up a little bit before I brought on Dan. And Barbara sent me this. It's a comedian, a black comedian, by the name of Sam Adams. Not the Patriot, unless he's risen from the dead. And I don't think this guy has any ownership in Sam Adams beer, but that's his name. And this comedy routine is called Find Your True Color. Check it out, because I'm going to be playing it for like forever and ever. Barbara told me that Ruth York, another individual connected to Raging Elephants Radio, thegratefultexan.org, supposedly posted it and shared it with Barbara. But as is the case, a lot of time with humor, there's a lot of truth in it. Okay, this cat's name is Sam Adams.
And I looked down and said, I'm not black. It's a wonderful place to be, Provo, Utah. I looked you up on Wikipedia. Said 0.0004% African American. I said, wow, is that even a whole brother? You're gonna double that score. No, it's nice to be here, and look, let's just have fun. I think we all have a right to laugh. You know, people get angry and upset about so many things, and sometimes you just need to laugh about things. Find a reason to laugh about things. I make a joke about race. Find a reason to laugh about it. No sense in getting mad, sad, angry, upset. You know, when I talk about race, it's funny to me. It is. Think about it. If somebody's dark like me, we say black. If somebody's light, we say white. Think about this. This is the 2 blandest colors in a crayon box. That's what we use to describe ourselves, right? I was thinking about this. I was doing a show in Nebraska. Hershey, Nebraska. Go figure. Population 560. You know you're in a small town when all the businesses begin with the word the. I'm driving through, there's the bank, the store, the jail. My gig was at the bar. When I walked in, I realized that the town's name was Hershey, but they hadn't seen chocolate before until I showed up. But they were nice people, and it was funny because at the end of the show, a lady came up and she said, can I take a picture with you? And I was like, sure. So, you know, she handed somebody her phone, and we posed, and I put my arm around her, and just when they were getting ready to take the picture, she looked up and said, I've never been this close to a black man before. And I looked down and said, I'm not black. And she said, what? And that's how they took the picture with her going, and so she was like, what do you mean you're black? I said, no, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you all what I told her. Just because I'm dark doesn't mean I'm black any more than just because she was light means she white. We all have a true color. Like when the government does the census report, every 10 years they ask a bunch of questions. One of the questions is race. The first box to check in that category is for white. Now the second box, my race. They have multiple choices. Black, African American, Negro, running back, rapper. But they had a little box to write something in. And that write-in box is what made me decide to find my true color. Now, how do you do that? Go to a hardware store. Go in the paint section. Spend some time. Grab those little paint chips. It took me about 15 minutes, but I found my true color. If you say I'm black, I'm not mad. That's not racist. I'm not offended. I'm just telling you all here in Provo, Utah, I know my true color. I'm a shade of brown called chocolate indulgence. Hello. 50 shades of chocolate indulgence. Man. All you people have been told you're white. You're not white. You're a shade of paint called papaya smoothie. I looked it up. Store. I know it's silly, but it's funny. And that's why you gotta find a reason to laugh. So find your true color and then report it to the government. Let them know what color you really are. You might be papaya smoothie, you might be rosy taupe. I don't know. But report it. And when they see that we have so many different colors, we're not just black and white like they label us, maybe they'll stop asking us what color we are. They'll find some much more important things in the world to solve, okay? Find much more important things in the world to solve, like how to put a muzzle on Justin Bieber. Baby, baby, baby. I just want to punt him like a football. Just.
A little humor. Gotta lighten it up sometimes. Fridays are a good day that's a good day to lighten it up, especially this week. We'll get serious again in just a few moments. Dan Govach is already on the on-deck circle. He's standing by. Later on, the hot ticket, Tina Moody Bryan. She's got some pop culture craziness that she needs to report. It's crazy. Hide the children. All of you homeschool parents out there. Well, wait a minute. School hasn't started yet. If your child is at home when Tina comes home, tell them to go outside and play. No, you can't do that because then CPS may get called on you, especially if your child is like 8 years old and walking the dog around the block. CPS may get called on you. I tell you what, put the child in the attic, closet, something when Tina comes on. Dan Govach comes on next. Video streaming live at RagingElePhantsRadio.com. You can see my beautiful unshaven face.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Edwin Guerra delivers passionate sermons.
And then I'm reminded, God is greater than our feelings. There are times that you don't want to be Jesus to people because you just don't feel worthy. God is greater than how we feel. And that is our hope. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We are not called to be emotional, up and down, Christianese type of people. We are called to be bold and stand firm on what we believe, even if you don't feel like it.
Enjoy Pastor Edwin Guerra, 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
The battle for liberty rages in every Texas community, none more so than in the nation's fourth largest city, Houston, Texas. A tyrannical mayor denies the right to vote to the citizens of the city, signs executive orders that violate the Texas Constitution and the charter of the city, and issues subpoenas for the sermons of pastors. And when the frontline leaders against the mayor's totalitarian agenda wanted a broadcast partner for their Faith, Family, and Freedom Tour, who did they request? RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
There are a lot of great folks that we owe a big debt of gratitude for promoting this issue from day one. I want to recognize my friend Claver and the folks over at Raging Elephants over here. He was on it from day one. Every single week this man talks about this issue. And so thank you, Claver, for never giving in, never backing down, and continuing to be that loud conservative voice.
RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
Take us wherever you go. Raging Elephants Radio, streaming on your computer, tablet, and smartphone.
It's getting a lot of play, as it should, at least on one network. The tragic death of Molly Tibbetts up there in Iowa. Absolutely, totally tragic. And the left's response, so predictable. Dan Golvach lost his son Spencer in January of 2015 to an illegal invader. Spencer was just innocently sitting at a red light here in Northwest Houston when an illegal criminal invader decided just to roll up on him and unload a firearm, shoot projectiles into Spencer Golvach. It's unfortunate that usually I'm reminded to bring Dan on after something tragic like this happens. I guess I could bring him on every week. Dan Golvach, welcome back to Raging Elephants Radio, my friend. How are you?
How you doing, Claver?
Thanks for holding on, man. I want to throw some numbers at you real quick and get your response. For weeks now, I haven't gone through this in quite some time. But for weeks, I've been hammering the Trump administration and the Abbott administration, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and others, because frankly, we can't wait for a wall. I'm very cynical about the campaign to build the wall because we can't wait. The numbers that I went and retrieved from ICE's website themselves, Dan, shows that in the first 9 months of fiscal year 2018, which goes back to October 1, 2017, up to June 30th, 2018, 177.8 thousand have been apprehended crossing the border just in Texas. Now, we learned from the National Border Patrol Council that it's a 50-50 proposition catching those who invade the state of Texas. You listen to Dan Patrick's latest commercial, he says it's a 4-to-1 ratio. For every one they catch, 4 are getting across scot-free, if you listen to his numbers.
So if we take the National Border Patrol Council's number as a 50-50 proposition, that if they're catching 177,000 or 178,000, that means that 358,000 totally invade the country. That's the total that have invaded Texas. Just the 5 border sectors of Texas, 358,000. And I promised the Saints and Patriots I'm going to go and see if the numbers for July have been posted this weekend. The last time I checked, they had not been posted for July. I want to see what it's been for the last 10 months. And that's a Trump administration responsibility. That's a Greg Abbott responsibility, a Dan Patrick, a Ken Paxton responsibility. This campaigning for the border wall, we can't wait for the border wall. We don't need any more Spencer Goldvatches. We don't need any more Kate Steinleys. We don't need any more Molly Tibbetts. We need the Marines on the border, not just building of the wall. Your response, first of all, Dan, about the death of Molly Tibbetts.
Well, it's just another tragic, sad reminder of how lawless our government is and how treasonous and traitorous they are. This is, again, systemic in that the government fully knows well what's coming over. They know what the real stats are. They have on the United States Sentencing Commission website. They know what the real there's a myth being propagated by the mainstream media that illegal aliens don't do more crime than American citizens. That's a lie. That's just a complete lie. And they're fully aware of it, yet in two interests: the interest of supplying the mega donor class with cheap labor, and the left with hopefully future socialist communist votes. They continue to allow people to thumb their nose at the immigration laws that were designed to protect Americans. It's that simple.
Yeah, but Dan,
and
the criticism that we receive or the administration receives for quote unquote politicizing this thing, isn't that why citizens of Texas and the United States like Spencer or Molly or Kate and numerous others that are immortalized by the Remembrance Project, Maria Espinosa Ling's advocacy, isn't that why they're separated from their families permanently because of politics?
Oh, yes. I first of all, I want to back up. You said something that has really been irritating me lately about the mainstream media and how they're trying to say, let's not politicize this tragedy. Wait a minute. That's how we handle anything, any issue in this country. It's politics, right? So what they're really saying is, let's just not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Let's not address it. Because what other avenue do we have other than politics? What else is there? So what they're, that's just code for shut up about it. We don't want to hear about it because it doesn't fit our agenda. But yes, like you're saying, Claver, they want to go on and on. They cherry pick which families that they want to talk about separation for maybe a few hours at the border or maybe a day at the most. But when it comes to families like mine who are separated forever, for life, they don't want to talk about that at all. They run away from it like a vampire runs away from a crucifix.
See, that's why I wanted to bring you on, because when a story like Molly Tibbetts comes up, folks need to be reminded this is an isolated incident. I mean, this happens all the time, these types of tragedies. And we're blessed to have a connection with you so that others can be reminded that it is extremely personal, and it is politics, and it's extremely personal. And then you have what I believe is the true attitude of the left, as exhibited by that college professor on BSNBC that said, oh, Fox News is talking about some girl in Iowa. That's like them saying, oh, Fox News is just talking about some guy in Houston, as referring to Spencer or anybody else that's been tragically murdered, lost their lives at the hand of a legal invader. I don't call them illegal aliens. I call them illegal invaders. When you've got more people coming across the border at a rate of 1 per minute is the math on it. 1 person per minute is crossing the Rio Grande. And when you've got more people apprehended crossing the border than invaded Europe on D-Day, then stormed the beaches of Normandy, that's an invasion. That's why I'm saying we can't be chanting, build the wall, build the wall. It should be send in the Marines, send in the Marines. We're being invaded, Dan Govach.
Amen. Amen. We spend how many trillions of dollars have we spent?
1.4. Daniel, I mean, Donald Trump, I mean, I get it. I mean, he's a whole lot better than anything else we've seen recently. Let's just be honest about it. I'm not a Trumpkin. I say it all the time. I'm going to criticize him. I'm going to criticize him hard, and I'm going to criticize him from the right. I'm going to criticize him from a position of liberty. He's going around campaigning, pounding his chest, pawing the dirt, saying we are spending $1.4 trillion on national defense. $1.4 trillion, and the nation, especially Texas, is being conquered by toddlers and dirty diapers.
Yes. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you watch the news. Oh, it's the Middle East. This. Oh, we got to protect Israel. Oh, we got to protect North Korea or South Korea. We got to protect. What are we going to do over here? What are we going to do about Syria? What are we going to do about Iran? You know, Israel's at stake and all these, and that's fine. You know, I understand there's geopolitics, but man, is that ever putting the cart before the horse? You know, I mean, let's go ahead and protect everybody else and spend trillions, but we can't get our treasonous Congress to allocate $1 billion even.
Dan, even here in Texas, see, I use that terminology for those here in Texas. I used it when Rick Perry was governor and Barack Hussein Obama was opening the border. I mean, like the Hoover Dam. Okay, I was saying treasonous. They have more concern for those who are not even citizens over fellow Texans. I've been saying it absolutely, totally treasonous. You had people calling for a special session here in Texas under the Pink Dome, not to discuss possible legislation, emergency legislation to shut down the border, but to what kind of money was going to be appropriated to hand over to the illegal invaders once they got here. I mean, this is the kind of madness that drives Texans crazy. And then you have the likes of a Dan Patrick and others. You talk about $1 billion. Yeah, they appropriated $1 billion. They appropriated $1.8 billion from the Pink Dome for border security. $1.8 billion. But here's my problem with it, Dan Govach. That's 0.5% of total Texas government expenditures. 0.5%. In other words, they're telling us that here in Texas, where the invasion is the #1 political issue, and in other polls, it's the #1 issue nationally, but certainly here in Texas by a long shot, as far as the Pink Domers are concerned, it is not a priority. I mean, when you're spending $1.8 billion out of over a $200 billion budget, 0.5%, you have no intention of protecting Texans. Yes, Dan, it is treasonous.
Yeah, it's political theater because, you know, you can go to, I would challenge anyone to go to the Texas GOP. It's a news publication here. It's owned by Norm Adams, and just look at what they're.
It's a Rhino site. It's a Rhino open border amnesty site.
It's what they're pushing, and I'll give them this much: at least they're being honest about it. They want the open borders. They want the illegal aliens. They're saying our economy will collapse, and we won't. America can't. You know, America won't be able to exist. You know, we won't be able to sustain our economic expansion without illegal aliens. And just tripe. You know, and. What it is, Norm, is you're getting filthy, stinking rich off this cheap illegal labor. You're rich enough to buy.
Norm Adams is who you're talking about, #1 amnesty lobbyist in Texas.
Yeah, and you know he's in with all the construction and he insures subcontractors, and I get that. So it's good for business. It's good for his business, and he's made himself rich off. He's made himself so rich that he can buy a news publication and use it to propagate this lie. And they don't want to talk, and they'll always throw in, well, we do need to secure the border, and then they'll talk a little bit. Then they say that. It's just like what you're saying. There's a lot of political theater going on with these politicians. They know that they have to say, we're going to do something about the border. We're going to do this, that. They have to do that. But in reality, if you look at who's filling their coffers, if you look at who's paying for, these campaigns are expensive. And if you look at who's putting the money behind these campaigns, you have to ask yourself, is someone like Charles Butt going to give a candidate, millions of dollars, or put millions of dollars into a party so they can just turn right around and compromise a cheap illegal labor pool? I don't think so. Americans need to wake up. We are a plutocracy now, and we're not. This myth that we are being represented by Congress, and this goes for Texas too. Texas is a microcosm of this. It's a myth that we're being represented by the people in the House and the people in the Texas Senate. You have to look at who's really controlling things, and they say things and they do things for show.
Oh, it's
but
all
they're not
for
interested.
Show. It's all for show. It's all
yeah,
for the
they're not
seals.
Interested. I can tell you, they are not interested at all in really doing something about that border, because if they were, and the same thing with what you're saying, I hate to say this, but I don't know why Trump is waiting on Congress. Trump could use the military budget that he was allocated back in the bill that he got
the defense authorization bill. That defense authorization bill. You're going to tell me out of that first $700 billion tranche, they couldn't pull out $25 million, or the second $716 billion tranche that they can't pull out $25 million for the border? But my argument is, Dan, that even if they pulled out the $25 billion for the wall, we don't have that time to build the wall. It will take years to build the wall. In the meantime, we're being invaded at 1 per minute in Texas. 1 per minute.
I'm not sure that we're not past midnight on this, because I don't know. I mean, you're right. It's now or never. We can't wait till the midterms. This is an invasion. That's what I've been calling it all along. If you go back to my speech in Washington 3 years ago that I did at the social contract event, I said, the left has successfully put us on defense and used semantics in this issue by branding it as an immigration issue and calling these people undocumented immigrants. No, we need to be honest. An immigrant is someone that comes in here on our terms. Someone that comes in on their own terms and thumbs their noses at the laws that are designed to protect American citizens is an invader. It's an invader, and they don't like that because it's not politically correct, but it is correct.
It is correct. It is accurate. And I want to get back to this issue of priority. I want to go back to 2015, Dan. 2015, okay? The opening session. And Greg Abbott. We lost Spencer in January 2015. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I want to go back to the first day of the legislative session, or the first week, I do believe, when Greg Abbott addresses a joint session of the House and the Senate under the Pink Dome, and he's listing his emergency items for the 2015 legislative session. Here's 1 minute of his speech that day.
Our first and foremost obligation is to protect our citizens' safety. We cannot be naive to the threat posed by drug cartels, transnational gangs, and human smuggling and trafficking operations. The first step in securing our border is enforcing the rule of law. That's why I have a comprehensive border security plan. My plan more than doubles the spending on securing the border. It has 500 new state troopers, more Texas Rangers who can focus on corruption, more funding for local law enforcement. This legislation is essential, which is why I'm declaring border security funding as my fourth emergency item.
Dan, Greg Abbott, this is only months before we lose Spencer, a young man I wish I had the opportunity to have met, and his fiance. But he says the number one obligation, the number one mandate for government is to defend and protect its citizens. But border security, funding of border security was emergency item number 4. Why is it number 1? That year, the number 1 item for Greg Abbott was universal pre-K. It wasn't border security. And it's still not border security, Dan. It's still not. And they doubled. Is $1.8 billion, is that a doubling of what the previous budget was for border security? Go ahead, Dan.
It's just political theater. It's, again, Greg Abbott was asked by, what's that publication in Austin? It's escaping me right now, but it's a news. They're kind of a liberal paper, but the guy asked him, he said, would you be willing to implement E-Verify across the board? And Greg Abbott said, well, we don't want to. Tribune? Yeah, Texas Tribune. Yeah, right. Yeah, he was asked that, and straight up, and Greg Abbott, of course, they'll say, yeah, we'll do that on with state agencies and stuff, but that's not where most of the employment of illegal aliens is coming from.
What an admission, Dan. What an admission. We'll do it for state agencies. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the state of Texas is hiring illegal invaders? Is that what you're telling me? We need E-Verify for hiring in the government? Is the government actually hiring illegal invaders?
I don't think the government directly does it, but the government hires contractors, and the contractors hire subcontractors. You know how that goes. Yeah, and so what's happened is, what he said, well, we don't want to do that to businesses. We don't want to do that to businesses. In other words, listen, Governor Abbott, I'm supposed to take you seriously if you say that you want to stop the flow of invaders into our state. But at the same time, you just said, well, I don't want to make life difficult for all the companies and businesses that hire them. So in other words, you're going to put your hand out like saying stop, halt, but at the same time, your other hand's got you're dangling a banana. It's ambiguous. And you passed the law, and I applaud you. Yeah, you passed the sanctuary city law and all that stuff. But the bottom line is they're still invading us at a astronomical number. This is a very drastic, just colossal crisis, and it's going to take drastic, colossal measures to stop it. They don't want to do that. They don't want to upset the flow. They don't want to tick off all the mega donors. They're terrified of that. That's who really runs the state.
What are you expecting?
Charles Butt.
Oh, Charles Butt of
He can walk into the Capitol and they all shiver,
Charles Butt of
I'm
HEB.
sorry?
The Charles Butt of for people who don't know, Charles Butt of HEB grocery stores. They do fantastic television commercials and radio commercials, and they sign up every athletic superstar as spokespeople. However, when it comes to border security and education, Charles Butt is bad news. I can't tell you the last time I spent a penny at HEB. I'd rather
I won't even look at an HEB.
I'd rather run out of gas.
That is funding your enemy.
Absolutely. Now, what are you looking for legislatively for 2019, Dan? Anything on your radar so far, or the speaker's race, or anything like that?
Well, I haven't tuned in. I'm happy that Joe Strauss is going to be gone, but what I fear is it's just a game of whack-a-mole. You can replace the politicians, but the thing is, you knock this one down, but another one just like him pops up. It's like that game, that you play in the video arcade, whack-a-mole. And let me ask anybody this: has the the establishment or the machinery that runs Austin, has that gone away? Has the plutocracy and has the big money donors, the Hillco Partners lobbying groups, have they gone away? You know, what makes a candidate viable? Well, he has a lot of money behind him. They can say all the right things. You know, he can get up there and say, I'll send snipers to the border. But you really need to look at who's backing them, who's behind the campaign. And if it's someone like Charles Butt or Perry Holmes, or, you know, I could just go down the list. You need to really ask yourself, are they giving these candidates this kind of money so they can, you know, cut off the spigot to the cheap illegal labor supply? And I think that really we need to learn to look past the campaign rhetoric and the political theater that you're seeing and all the promises made, and look at really who do you think that this candidate is going to be subjugated to, us or the people that own him? That's just the real problem. Look at it on the national level. Look at Paul Ryan and someone like that. You know, when Paul Ryan goes and meets with Sheldon Adelson or the Koch brothers, or who else? Paul Singer or someone like that. Do you really think that Paul Ryan is going to do anything about the border? And that's the problem I see, and I don't know what the answer is, Claver, because I mean I'm not a leftist or Democrat that's saying that we should abolish campaign, have to get rid of money out of campaigns or whatnot. I don't know exactly what the answer is to this. All I know is
it's multifaceted, Dan. Dan, it's multifaceted. It's all the things that you're talking about. It has to be done on a multi-pronged approach. It's hard to do, but the solutions are right there in front of our faces. But as you've been pointing out, they just don't want to do it. The solutions are there. We know it has to be done. The magnets need to be pulled up by the roots. You know, there's a whole idea of anchor babies and the misinterpretation of the 14th Amendment. Birth certificates shouldn't be given out. Driver's licenses shouldn't be given out. They shouldn't be admitted into our government school classrooms or our institutions of higher learning. The magnets need to be pulled out. The whole E-Verify. The employers need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent. We know what the solutions are and what need to be done. They don't want to do it, Dan Govach.
Yeah, and who's been controlling the government in Texas? Which governor was it that got in-state tuition?
Perry?
Okay.
Perry?
Yes. And that's just what I'm saying. There's this game that they play, and this is how it works. Is we got to fool the voters into thinking that we're on their side. But, you know, once we get into office, and we can do these legislative tricks like they did back in 2011 with Joe Strauss, you know, so he could say that he was trying to do something about sanctuary cities. He put up HB 9. He sent it over to the Senate when he knew it wouldn't pass in a 2/3 vote in the Senate as SB 9. And then Perry calls the special election, the special vote on this session. I'm sorry. Yeah, and turned it around as SB 12, and then it came back to Joe Strauss, and he chucked it. You know, they do these things. They hope that people don't follow the legislative. They don't chronicle what happens, and it gets boring and mundane, and they just want to be able to say 2 years later in a television ad, "I'm Joe Strauss, and back in 2011, I tried to do something about sanctuary cities, but it didn't pass the Senate." But he forgets, and then you got people like, and I try to point this out on a short 20-second TV ad, and you got people like Brandon Darby and what's his name, Scott Craddock over there at Texas GOP getting on a major radio station calling me a liar.
I remember that.
And then you can play it on your show, Claver. Scott Craddock, if you don't know who he is, he's one of the reporters at Texas GOP. I granted him an interview. He came to my house. This is back in early 2016 when we were still trying to replace Strauss. And he comes to my house. Well, what Scott didn't realize on his way to my house is my house is a recording studio. So when he got here, he had their mic set up, and I had my mic set up.
Mm-hmm.
And I recorded the whole thing.
You went Omaroso on him. You went Omaroso on him.
Yeah. I recorded I told him though. I didn't trick him. I said, look, you guys, I just do it this way. I didn't, I'm not hiding anything. There's my mic. I'm recording this as well. I'm sure there's nothing that you're going to say that you wouldn't want me to record. So, because you're recording everything I say. And that's when the mood changed, and they never published the report, or they never published the interview, because I cornered him on it. I said, you're not going to get out of this, Scott. Let's talk about HB9, SB9, and how SB9 got turned into SB12 and got sent back to Joe Strauss, and Joe Strauss let it die in committee on the calendars. Let's talk about that, because that's really what I was charging in that commercial that you accused me of being a liar about. And he would not answer it. He wouldn't answer it. And therefore, he didn't publish, because I just kept biting at him with that. And
here's the thing. You mentioned Brandon Darby. Remember all those guys, a lot of those guys, there's connections between Texas GOP vote and Breitbart, Texas.
Yeah. Most people don't know this about, what's the other report? The guy that wrote my story, Bob Price. Bob Price was president of Casa Leche or something like that. It was the largest amnesty group in Texas. Now here's a guy that's the president and the top dog of an amnesty group that is at the same time pretending to be a border hawk in Breitbart.
He used to write for Texas GOP vote, man.
Yeah, and
Shadwick, his girlfriend Shadwick.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but Texas GOP, that's Norm Adams. In 2011, the sanctuary city bill that they put up that I was talking about, SB9, HB9, and all that, Norm Adams is the one that went and along with Steve Holtze and of course Charles Butt that stopped that thing. They lobbied to stop it.
Man, I was
that would have
Norm Adams.
Possibly saved my son. My son's killer was allowed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, I had to testify against Norm Adams. We were trying to give driver's licenses in 2011 and 2013.
Yeah, he's evil. He's our enemy. People need to start calling this. It's just like saying invader. We need to get away from. I don't call Norm Adams someone with a different opinion. I call Norm Adams and people like him, like Steve Holtze and Charles Butt, my enemy. When someone pushes and gets a lawless policy instated, that is your enemy. If it's a type of policy that gets your child killed, that is an enemy. I don't know what an enemy is if it's not.
Yep, exactly.
They are the enemy. They're the enemy of freedom too, and I'll tell you why. Because what they're doing ultimately is they're being useful idiots to the Democrat Party, who has a different goal, and that goal is to usher in a socialist voting bloc.
Absolutely, Dan. I'm completely out of time, man, but I'm not going to let you go unless you give us a rundown of some of your bookings, at least for this weekend. Guys, Dan Govach, he's passionate about the invasion, and he's got good reason. He lost his seed, his son, to an illegal invader in January of 2015. But he is also an outstanding entertainer, an outstanding musician, and I would suggest if you get a chance to take in a Dan Govach performance, you jump on it. Any bookings this week, Dan? Where you performing? Where you appearing in the next couple of weeks?
Oh, well, tonight I'm at Swanee's. It's a grill. It's a little golf, kind of a family fun golf place. We got volleyball and all that stuff, but it's right there at Theall and Hollister, 7 o'clock. It's called Swanee's Golf. And tomorrow night I'm at Cassidy on the Green on Walden Road up on Lake Conroe tonight. It's about an hour drive from Tomball, or 45 minutes from Tomball. And then That's 7 o'clock. And then Sunday, I'm over at Crazy Frog's Willowbrook Mall parking lot from 2 to 4.
Oh.
2 to 6, I'm sorry. 2 to 6.
Go check out Dan Govach, y'all. He's awesome. He's a fantastic entertainer. Hey, Dan, love you, man. Talk to you in a couple of weeks, probably.
God bless you. Good to talk to you, Claver.
Love you, brother. Talk to you later.
Love you back. All right, bye-bye.
All right, hide the children, Saints and Patriots, because Tina Moody Bryan is coming up. And she's got some crazy stuff to talk about because, well, the left is crazy. Tina Moody Bryan is coming up, the hot ticket, hide the children.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars, or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElephantRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas works will help Texas voters to make Texas more like Texas. The RER 2+2 Challenge. Listen to RER 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. You'll learn more about Texas politics in 2 weeks than you've ever known. Mark it on your daily calendar. Set your phone alarm. The RER 2+2 Challenge. 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. RagingElephantsRadio.com. The rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
Numbers equal power. Spread the word about RagingElephantsRadio.com.
She's one of your favorites. She's definitely one of my favorites. She's the TMB, the TNT, the hot ticket. Raging Elephants Radio contributor for pop culture. It's Tina Moody Bryan, all the way from Longview, Texas. Or is it? Are you in the Greek Isles?
How you doing, Claver?
I told everybody to hide the children. because
I know.
we have to talk about human anatomy for a moment, Tina. And it's not going to be pretty, because once again, it is the brainchild of the left, and they are absolutely nut jobs. So
yes,
we are going to talk about the nomenclature of bodily orifices today.
Stories, and Tracy Shannon, she was on this story too because of the LGBTQIA. I think now, they've got more alphabets than we actually have in the alphabet. So.
It's the Greek alphabet. It's the Russian alphabet or something. I don't know what it is. That's what's next.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and there is something about that Greek thing, because I noticed in the Greek islands that there were things in gift shops that I was totally embarrassed to see. They are all about body orifices and body appendages and all these kind of things. The Greeks, yeah, they take it to a whole nother level. Let's just say that, okay? So anyway, yes, I know. So the LGBTQIA, some of these women, okay, if that's what you want to call them, Claver, they say that the female body part, orifice, which is the vagina, okay, they say that word is not inclusive enough. Okay,
well, what are you supposed to use? VJJ? What are we using these days? What?
No, Claver. Oh. It is now to be considered a front hole. Okay? A front hole.
The what?
Front. FRONT hole. HOLE. Not HOE, but HOLE.
I just wanted to
know sometimes our Texas.
I just wanted to double check because I understand Texan very well. I just wanted to make sure I was hearing it correctly.
Yes, you do. Other people that may not understand, some of our words can sound the same, but they have totally different meanings.
My goodness.
Although that one could, it can kind of, but anyway, Claver. Now, I know that some people are scratching their heads at even who has the time to sit around and think of these things, to either be offended about or to think we need a new meaning and all this kind of thing. There are other front parts of your body that has holes in it. Your nose,
right?
Your mouth. Those have holes, and then some people actually add holes, through piercings and that kind of thing. And then we have the belly button hole. Okay, so in order so far. The one that they've changed in your mouth, okay? Your mouth is the upper hole, okay? Upper hole.
The upper
hole. Yes, sir, Claver. And then, I swear, we have to have a dictionary for all of these meanings. But anyway, the backside and everybody knows, I don't have to go into any detail, but the backside is called the back hole.
So we've got
that
the front,
now.
The front hole. The top hole, is that what it's
upper
the upper hole.
Upper hole.
I gotta get this right. This new biology terminology, I gotta get it correct. So front, upper, and
back. That's right, Claver. Oh. And I was meeting with insurance women today, and I wonder what we're going to have to go through with insurance to get things covered this day and age. All these different... I'm serious, Claver. You have all kinds of things now. People, you got the sexual harassment, and then you have all of the ID, that people can steal your identification, all these kind of things. I'm wondering, now we're going to have offensive insurance. In case we offend anybody, we're going to have to be covered for that, Claver.
Oh, yeah. Like this new insurance now for gun owners, unless you have to apply in case you have to apply the Castle Doctrine and you have to fire your firearm and shoot somebody who's breaking into your house or breaking into your car or something like that. You can now buy insurance for legal representation. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, something to the effect of that. And I'm saying it kind of, cheek and tongue. But seriously, Claver, it's a serious. I just now got that. Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's a serious deal. You have to start thinking, the things that we were talking about. I'm going, are you kidding me?
Okay,
Is it not enough
Where is this terminology being used? On The View? On Bravo Network? Who's using this terminology, Tino? I mean...
Well, I actually saw, that the LBGTQIA, they're the ones that came up with this type of these, definitions now. I actually heard Rush Limbaugh talking about it, as a matter of fact. And he's kind of like we are. Every other, Americans that are shaking their heads going, you've got to be kidding me. This is what we are dealing with. Real. It's Realsville. And in some of these states like California and New York, you have to be careful about how you address people. They can be offended if you if you call a male and he is not a male that day. He totally feels like a female or whatever. You can be discriminated against and all of this kind of stuff and held liable if you call a he when he doesn't even want to be called a he, but he wants to be called a she. Seriously, Claver.
You could go to jail, I think.
Yeah, between that...
Using the wrong pronoun in plastic straws, you can go to jail.
I was fixing to say, let me tell you, if we go to jail over plastic straws, I look at them every day, hundreds of them, Claver. We are on our restaurant. I'm here to say we have plastic straws. I don't know what's next, Claver. Will they come into the butcher shop and ban every single straw that we have? Am I going to go to jail?
No, because if anything like that was close to be happening, well, like I say, Tina, the only way out is out.
Out. That's it, Claver.
The only way out is out. Now, you heard last week, Tina, Angela, the irrepressible one, was on last week, and we were talking about our conversation touched on black women getting upset about black men dating white women, and you did some focus group work on this. You were inspired, and you did some focus group work first because panhandlers are now driving Hummers and Escalades and stuff. If anyone saw your latest video on your page, on your Facebook wall, panhandlers and this particular panhandler that was riding large.
In more ways than one, Claver. In more ways than one.
And somehow this led to you doing a focus group on black men and white women and white women and black men and black women and black men and all of that, being the sociology genius that you are. Okay, what did you find out, Tina Moody Bryan?
Okay, this is what I found out. Now, remember, I asked this question to a couple of my employees that I know very well. They've worked for me some time. Black family, that's how we are here at the butcher shop. Well, anyway, I know that both of them date white women, and one of them is married to a white woman, and these are both black men. And I just said, hey, you know what? I just want to ask you personal, just personal. Why do you date or are interested in white women, and what kind of a feedback do you get, from your family, friends, or just, other black people, And both of them said their first thing was, Claver, they said, Tina, have you ever dated a black woman? And I just laughed. I said, no, I never have. Both of them said, well, let me tell you. They said, let me tell you. They said, black women can be some of the meanest women that there are on the planet. And in Claver, they were laughing, but they were serious.
Hey,
they said, we come up with
watch one episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta or Real Housewives of DC or Real Housewives of anything, and you have to ask yourself, who would want to be married to Omaroso? Like I was saying, dude, you cannot divorce Omaroso, please, for our sake, because then we have to deal with the Omaroso sex tapes. Come on.
Well, it seemed to be that both of these gentlemen have come home at different times in their lives. When they dated black women, they have come home to their clothes being on fire in their front yard.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
but what I was saying is that more and more you're seeing in television commercials, you're seeing white guys with black women. I guess it's because they've given up on brothers. I mean, they need to get whoever they can get. I don't know. Hollywood is pushing it now. Madison Avenue is pushing it now. All the big, huge advertising execs are pushing it. Every once in a while, you'll see a black guy with a white chick. Like the other day, I was watching an ad, and it was a white lady, young white lady, and she had 3 kids. And you can tell the 3 kids were interracial. Now, you are seeing more and more of that, right? But black women still don't like it if a black guy is dating a white lady. They don't like it. Angela and I were talking about this, and but more and more Hollywood is pushing it the other way around, and less you're seeing black guys with white women in shows, on commercials. You're seeing more interracial couples, but more and more the dominant combination is black women with white guys. Have you noticed that, Tina?
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I've noticed that as well. I sure have in different. You're right. You're exactly correct on that. So, just talking to them, all joking aside, they were serious. There was just seemed to be an attitude problem. And I know, hey, it goes on both ends. So, that happens in every relationship. It's there's always the 2 stories. But that was their complaint, I guess, about dating outside of their race. And I know that's not going to make some black women happy, but hey, we've all got our things, that we deal with. But that was the main thing, was the anger. There was like a lot of anger going on. And I don't know.
I call them ASBWs, angry single black women. ASBW, that's what I call them. Angry single black woman. You better watch out for one of those.
I've seen that. Yeah, it was like yesterday, the woman that approached me about the money. When I told her I did not have any, I had, cards, whatever. She was clearly not happy with my answer and showed it in various ways.
She rolled up. This is a panhandler. She wasn't standing on the side of the road in the median. She rolled up in what kind of ride and had you roll your window down. Look, sister girl, I need $1, a 5, a 10. I need a Andrew Jackson. I need a Benjamin real quick, girlfriend. That's what happened, right? In Longview, right?
Yes. I just.
Well, Longview is so small, Tina. Longview is so small. She's gonna roll up on you again, right? You're gonna see her all over town.
Yeah.
She's gonna tail you, TAIL, tail you until you get to that Benjamin.
Maybe so, Claver. Yes, but she rolled up, and I have my black Escalante, and her ride was something like some kind of SUV and type automobile, just as high as I was sitting up, and rolls down that window, and she's healthy. She's not hungry. Let me just say that. The money was not needed for food. Okay. And
a healthy diet of Funyuns, morning, noon, and night.
Yes. she was not hungry. We'll just say that. And so I noticed, of course, she had her phone plugged in, and then she had a nice handbag that was sitting beside her, and begins to tell me that she's, ridden up on Smart Times and, this and that and the other. And I'm not feeling it, Claver. I'm like, really? At least if I'm going to give somebody money, I want them to have a sign or a cup or a squeegee thing to clean off your windshield, or some kind of something. Yeah, but to just roll up, and then who knows, if she would have gotten out, maybe she would have leaned way over and had me lean way over to give her. I don't know, but I was not having it. I was not feeling any of it. It was just,
she rolls up in an SUV Lambo, and she wants you, and she's. She's got a Marc Jacobs or a Michael Kors bag or something like that, and she wants you to hand over a Benjamin. You should have told her, come in. Hey, we've got jobs available at the butcher shop. You want to wash dishes? You want to work?
I've done that before. I certainly have. But I was just like, I was so stunned that somebody actually did that. That there's no shame in that. You just roll up.
I've had him, the kid, in one of the shopping carts, roll up on me and ask me to buy them groceries. I said, okay. And me being me, I said, okay, right? And so they went and they bought groceries, right? And so we're at the self-checkout, and it's full of chips and junk. I said, oh, no. I went through and started throwing stuff out. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. Just like if you take government money and the government says, if you take our money, you got to do this and got to do that. Okay, if I'm buying you grocery, no, we're not. You're not going to get the 32 variety pack of Frito chips. That's not going to happen, all right? You're not going to get the Sunny D. That's not going to happen. You want to get some real orange juice, go get some real orange juice. You want to get some real milk, go get some real milk. No, you're not going to get all this junk food and all this other stuff to play with. Yeah, you can get one toy for the kid, and that's it. And then the same Walmart. I'm walking out one day. I go over to Walmart to go to their deli and get some lunch, because you can get a pretty nice sized lunch at the Walmart deli for less than $5. I mean, you know. So I walk in. It's no butcher shop. Let me say that. It's not the butcher shop, that's for sure. But I walk in, I go get my lunch, I walk back out to the parking lot, and these two women roll up in an SUV. Excuse me, sir, excuse me, could you buy us lunch? Or could you? I'm like, I'm in the middle of work, W-O-R-K, work. No, I'm not buying you anything. Keep rolling. Two women, and they want to show a little bit too much cleavage, both of them. These were young women. Rolling up. Excuse me, sir. Please keep rolling. Go get a job. This is not the Obama economy. It is now the Trump economy. Jobs are plentiful. Go get a job.
Yes. That's exactly right, Claver. That's exactly how I felt about it. Nope. No, I'm not going to be part of that. You go fill out application. I'll put you to work.
Or do like we do. Start our own jobs. Create our own jobs.
That's it, Claver.
Tina,
Find them every day.
You are awesome. Give Timbo a big hug from me, but tell him it's from Barbara.
Okay. I got it. We'll give Barbara and Butch a big hug from me.
Love you, Tina. The hot ticket. Goodbye.
Love you too. Goodbye, Claver.
I'm Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, the Christian politician, the ultra-conservative soul brother. My enemies or the big dome call me the purifier, and I like it. From H-Town, may the Lord Jesus bless you, and may the Lord Jesus bless the future independent sovereign Republic of Texas. Have a great weekend, y'all.